Welcome back to the Born and Bred podcast. We are your hosts, Brendan Gallagher
and Maria Lynn.
This is episode number 4, and we are excited to share with you a lighthearted conversation we had about some of our favorite local music.
Be sure to check out our sponsor, Haunting Hill Winery, located in Stonewood, right off of I-79. Go to hauntinghill.com or call 304-476-9353 to schedule your bachelorette party, work party, or to just have a lovely wine tasting. Thanks for listening to the Born and Bred podcast. In today's episode, we are discussing our top 10 feel-good songs. 5 of them are WV music, 5 of them are worldwide. And these are just songs that we can listen to again and again and again and just enjoy it no matter what. So let's get started.
I have a feeling that when it comes to the West Virginia artists,
we might have some overlap.
We're going to have some overlap.
Yeah, so once again, just if you listen to our last episode, we did our ins and outs and we did not share our lists beforehand. And same, we do not know what each other is about to say. But
yeah,
we talk so much on a daily basis, obviously, about West Virginia music and West Virginia artists that the likelihood of there being overlap, I would say, is high.
I think our non-West Virginia artists will definitely have a lot of differences. But
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm anticipating one overlap in the non-West Virginia artists, and if we don't have an overlap there, I'll be surprised. And I think you'll kick yourself if we don't.
All right. We'll see what happens. Okay. And I want to start by saying these are the 5 that kind of hit me right now.
Yeah, that's fair. So, to that point, at first I was going to be like, best songs of all time, and then I started doing it, and I was like, no, that's impossible. I can't,
there's no way.
Do that.
These are 5 songs for me that I can listen to. Some of them I listen to pretty regularly right now. They're newer songs or within the last few years. Some of those songs that no matter how old they are, I still jam out to them, rock out to them, find them, seek them out. So...
And another time we might do our 10 favorite songs for a rainy day, for example. Yeah. But today it's like
this
happy,
is just in general. These songs make me happy. And my list. Okay, so I don't want to say too much. So how do we want to do this? You want to go first?
Yeah, let's start with the non-WV. And right. You want me to just say my first one?
Yeah.
I'm saying first one. It's not like this is number 1 necessarily, although it could be. But I didn't number them in. They're all equal in my mind. Call Me Al by Paul Simon.
I did not put Call Me Al.
And that is the one I expected to overlap.
And I know what you're thinking. I actually consider, for those of you who don't know, Call Me Al to be the perfect song. And it probably should be on my list. It's actually, I am kicking myself a little bit.
I thought so.
But it is.
It's actually called You Can Call Me Al.
You Can Call Me Al.
Yeah.
It is one of the greatest pop songs for multitudes of reasons.
And the best music video ever.
Yeah. But the music on it is absolutely incredible from start to finish. It's a complicated song musically. But also, then you've got the lyrics on it are actually pretty deep lyrics. It's not actually a happy song.
Yeah.
But it comes across with a poppy message.
Yeah.
And it's radio accessible. That's a very hard trifecta to pull off, to do all of those things in one song.
And it never gets old.
It's
so good.
Yeah.
My godson, who's preteen, it's his favorite song too, which
really?
I think is so funny. Just because I don't know how many kids that age know that song, but
yeah, Paul Simon's a genius. Well, I can tell you, my kids do because I make sure they listen to it and know it. All right, one of mine is U2, "Sweetest Thing."
That's a good one.
It's a great song and it's very poppy. Mm-hmm. It's just got that keyboard part that starts it out. It's a little different of a kind of a track for them. Mm-hmm. But that's one of mine.
Good one. Hmm? This will come as no surprise to you because I feel like I've been talking about it lately due to a recent announcement.
Can I guess?
Sure.
Is it Karma Chameleon?
It absolutely is. Yeah, by the Culture Club. I I have loved this song for a long, long time. It's not new that I love it, but it was recently announced that Boy George is going to be in Moulin Rouge, and they used a clip of that song. I'm really big into trailers. Like, I love, if you watch the trailer, a great example of a trailer that I just love, and when I say I love trailers, I love specifically how they use music in the trailer. So a great example, I know I'm going on a tangent, sorry, but is the trailer to Murder on the Orient Express. The one that Keanu Reeves, Kenneth Branagh directed. It's so good. They use Imagine Dragons in the trailer, which is like such a kind of a contrast to the time period and everything, but it's so well done. So similarly, they announced that Boy George is going to be in Moulin Rouge, and they used Karma Chameleon to announce it, but just a tiny bit of it. But it's so well done. It's just got my heart racing.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. But it's hard for me, like, I'm not necessarily somebody that always moves when I'm listening to music. Like, I know you're probably somebody who you're always either, like, your air guitaring or whatever, like, you're doing something. But I can sit still and listen to music and love it. But I would say Karma Chameleon would be an exception. It's hard for me to sit still with that song. It's just so good.
Okay. My number 2 is... actually a solo track as a solo artist from the lead singer of The Killers, Brandon Flowers. The song is called Lonely Town. It's not a well-known song, I would say, outside of like the Killers fan base. Mm-hmm. But it's a beautiful track, and it is so just like, oh man, that song when it comes on, yeah, it just drives me. It's good.
Yeah.
Yep.
My next one is Killer Queen by Queen. This was really it's not my first introduction to Queen, because my first introduction to Queen was actually from the Mighty Ducks. Because, you know, at the end of it, they sing We Are the Champions.
Yeah.
And so that was probably my actual first introduction to Queen. But I remember, there's such a vivid memory for me that I don't know how old I was, maybe 13-ish. And it was probably not literally... Well, it wasn't literally my first introduction to Queen, but it was the first time I really stopped and paid attention. And my dad and I were actually painting my bedroom, and I heard the line, "Caviar and cigarettes, well-versed in etiquette," and I was like, who is this? And meanwhile, my dad is over there singing every word, because he's kind of like me, where he likes kind of quirky songs like that. And he was like, "This is Queen." And I was like, "Who's Queen?" And he was like, "You know Queen." And then, you know, he used the We Are the Champions, We Will Rock You example. But that was like my first time exploring the world of Queen beyond those two songs that everybody knows. And also my first time really like paying attention to lyrics.
Yeah.
Like, that's probably how I fell in love with lyrics.
That's good. Okay.
Thank you.
My third is a guy, he goes by the name Bleachers. For his musical act. He has a band called Bleachers. He's actually Jack Antonoff, who a lot of people know from the band Fun. He actually was the drummer and guitarist on their albums, producer. He also has produced Taylor Swift's most recent albums, basically since 1989, that album he's been working with her. The guy is a genius.
Yeah, I was just going to say the man's a genius.
He can do no wrong when it comes to production and songwriting. He just knows his stuff. His song, Chinatown, that features Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, that's a good pick. Yeah, good
is
one.
A fantastic song that just moves me. It just picks me up. It's a good song.
Good one. Mine is a Monkey song.
Oh, okay.
That some people might not know, because it's a less common Monkey song. But for Monkees fans know it. But for people who just know, you know, like, I'm a Believer, Daydream Believer, they might not know it. And it's called Papa Jean's Blues.
Oh, yeah.
And it was written and sung by Mike Nesmith.
The only remaining member?
No,
Mickey. Oh, no, Mickey.
Dolenz
Sorry.
is the
Sorry,
only
Mickey.
rating. Mike
I'm sorry.
passed last year.
I didn't mean to kill you off, Mickey.
It's just such a great song. It makes me so happy. It's there's like a sort of music video, which is really just a clip from their TV show. That's super fun. It's just great. And if you If you haven't heard it, please go look it up. Papa Jean's Blues by the Monkees.
Great track.
It's a good time.
All right, so my next song that is going to make me happy is a band that I think is not supposed to make you happy, but they do make me happy every time I listen to them, and that would be Pictures of You by The Cure. I love The Cure. I know everyone's always like, oh, this is goth. It's pop.
Like, if you don't look at them, right?
Yeah, if you never actually saw them, you would not know this band.
Yeah.
I mean, and yeah, you're sure when you get into some of the deeper into the catalog, there definitely is some of that. But, they also know how to write a pop radio song. And Pictures of You is just a track. I mean, it's a long song, but they've got these sweeping musical parts that just, oh my gosh, when they happen, they just move me.
That's great. My last one for worldwide artists, non-West Virginia, is another one that is an oldie that some people may not know because they're famous for another song, and it's Eleanor by the Turtles. Most people are very familiar with Happy Together by the Turtles. And it's similar when it's like you can tell it's the same band. But for me, the song Eleanor, again, if you don't know it, please go listen to it. It's so good. I just can't help but have a good time every time I listen to it.
Yeah. All right, so my final one is another band that I think people kind of write off as being a dark kind of band. And I don't mean dark like dark, but just they're not known for happiness, I guess.
Sure.
And that would be 1979 by the Smashing Pumpkins.
Again, we talk about the Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah, it's 2 podcasts in a row. But yeah, that song just, it's just good. And it's a very nostalgic song for me.
Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of my awesome teen years that I got to enjoy. So yeah, it's one for me.
Great. All right, West Virginia artists, you ready?
Yep.
Okay, now let me ask you this before we dive into this. If I start with one that's on your number 3, are you going to say it or are you going to save it for...
I will just go ahead and just agree with you now. So,
okay. All right. Martyr by the Moon, My Twin.
Martyr by the Moon, My Twin.
Was that your first one?
That is my first one. This band, so
good.
Some backstory.
Now, when I say, I'll let you get into your backstory, but when I say I could listen to it again and again and again, it's because I actually have listened to it
again,
4 or 5 times in a row.
So, I want to give a huge shout out to this band. Chris Quattro, the guitarist for this band, is a spectacular musician. And so is Ime, Erica. She's also an amazing musician. She is a powerhouse band leader. Every band person should take lessons from her on how to lead a band. We got to see them at a music festival this past summer, 2023, and they blew the roof off this
and
festival.
We were expecting to love them.
Yeah.
And we were still, it still surpassed our expectations, I think.
For sure. And this song, Martyr, she's got this vocal quality that I can only compare to Annie Lennox.
Yeah.
And I don't think they sound exactly the same.
No, it's valid.
There's
especially on this track.
Yeah. There's just it's got a deeper timbre to it.
Yeah.
But there's just this quality that she has as a vocalist that is very unique. And I can't recommend her enough in the band.
Agreed.
All right. What's number 2 for you?
Blue Dress by the Parachute Brigade.
Oh, okay. Not on mine.
I know you probably picked. I know what you probably picked, and I honestly was kind of torn between the two. But
why did you pick Blue Dress?
I think because almost a little bit of a nostalgia thing. It's the first song of theirs that I heard and instantly fell in love with it, and I was just I was just immediately captured and was like, I love this band. So that for me is it just really. Yeah, it just always reminds me of my first
Well, while we're
introduction.
here, I do have a Parachute Brigade song on my list, and the song is "I Don't Mind." It was a song they released this past year.
It's also a great song,
and they knew what they were doing with this track. The lead singer Eric Robbins and I have a lot of similar influences, and he really let those influences show on this song while making it their own.
Yeah.
And it just is, man, that song is so good. Yeah.
It is. It is a great song.
All right. Number 3. Let's see how many more we got here that match.
Okay, if you match my next one, I might judge you a little bit. My next one is Home by Last Year's Model.
My not next one, but it is on my list, is Last Year's Model.
Really?
Home.
You did not.
Okay, well, first of all, hold on. Okay,
I know the speech you're going to make. But
full disclosure, Last Year's Model is my band. And yeah, it might seem a little narcissistic, whatever. But one of the things I learned, and I stuck by this, from the great genius Dave Grohl. Mm-hmm. He was in an interview that I heard where he said, they asked him, "Who's your favorite band?" And he said, "My favorite band is the Foo Fighters."
Yeah.
He said, "If you're not making your favorite music, why are you doing it?" And the music that we make is the music I love.
Yeah.
And so, yes, the song Home.
It's a good song. It's a great song.
It is
and you co-wrote it with Brandon, correct?
Yes, Brandon Wood and I co-wrote that song.
And you both killed it. I mean, it's just... And I think I heard, it as it was going in a few stages. I just remember being like, this song gets better every time. Like, even... Like the just all the effects that Brandon did and the production of it and everything is so good. The lyrics.
Well, it was literally a song that started out with that chorus. I had the chorus, and I just had it. I had the whole chorus. And I sent it to Brandon via a voicemail, and we just wrote the song.
Yeah, magic.
It was the last track we needed for our album.
Yeah, I remember that. That's cool.
All right.
Okay. Sunshine In by Hillbilly Chic.
Well, this is crazy. I also have Sunshine In by Hillbilly Chic.
Oh my god!
Sorry, I really wish we were covering more of you out there, but these are just
we've only had one different one?
Yeah.
I truly wasn't expecting you to pick your own song, I'm not going to lie.
That's fair. I wouldn't expect that normally either. But.
Anyway, Sunshine In is such a good song. This is another one I know I have listened to multiple times in a row because I just couldn't get enough.
Oh, yeah. Well, and I mean, Hillbilly Chic, this guy, he's just a really positive force. He's a positive voice in the music world. I was torn here. I could have put something from Adam Yoakum. He's another fantastic pop country kind of artist. Huey Mack. There were so many songs I could have picked here. And honestly, it was kind of hard to narrow it down to just 5, so that was your fault. So thanks.
You're welcome.
But yeah, I mean, there's way more I could have picked. Now, you got one more on your list?
Yeah.
Who's your last one?
Secret Ambition by Michael W. Smith.
Ah.
I have been, just loved listening to this song again and again and again since whenever it came out. I don't know how old I was. In the single digits.
Well, I think I was 10 or 11 when that song came out.
Yeah.
Maybe younger.
I love it. It's so good.
Yeah.
I could listen to it again and again.
It's a good track.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael W. Smith is, a lot of people may not know him because they may not have familiarity with the Christian music world. Mm-hmm. But I would be careful to write him off, just like we talked about in our last podcast about not limiting somebody because of genre.
Yeah.
Michael W. Smith is somebody you do not want to limit because of genre. He's a fantastic musician. And actually, a lot of musicians that you know of have performed songs he's written, and also he plays piano and keys on a lot of different projects out there.
He's diverse in his output. I would say too, if somebody is listening and they're wanting to check him out, Secret Ambition is a great song. It is definitely very clearly a Christian music song. Yeah. If you want one that's a little bit more generic, let's say, I think Place in This World would be a great place to start.
Which is seeing a little bit of a resurgence right now.
Yeah, because
there's a movie getting ready to come out that I guess that's going to be one of the tracks in it. And so, yeah, that's cool. All right, so my final one is actually from a buddy of mine. We grew up together, and now he's tearing it up in the country music world and doing a really great job out there. And that would be the song California High by the Chris Weaver Band. I am a huge fan of songs that are able to transport you mentally to a place where you feel like you're there. Songs that I feel like do that would be One Headlight by the Wallflowers. Life is a Highway. Songs that just get you in that mode. Like you feel like you're there. You feel like you can see it and sense what's happening in that story. Well, the song California High is just Chris talking about a relationship that is occurring in the state of California. And the words that he wrote and the descriptors he uses in the song, and then plus you couple that with this great melody that happens in it and great music that happens in it, the song just makes me happy. So
good one.
And I think it's a compliment to be able to say that your friend's music makes you happy.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people always want to go to the big names, and that's how we started this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But when your friend writes a song that moves you, that's a really cool thing to have happen. So anyhow, so that is our just 10 that if you were to ask me tomorrow, if you see me out on the street and say, hey, what are your 10? It could be 10 completely different songs. So.
Do you want to do any honorable mentions?
Oh gosh, honorable mentions. Philip Bowen's Old Kanawha. Man, I'm gonna have to try and pull these off my head. The Flood from Charles Wesley Godwin's new track.
So good.
A new album. It's so good.
I would say too, Ghosts of Kiev.
Jamie Lester,
Jamie
like Lords of
Lester,
Leicester. Yeah, Lords of Leicester is so good.
Pretty much anything by Lords of Leicester.
Gosh, there's so much good music that's come out. Golden has some great tracks that I've been loving. Actually, Golden just put out a new track today that really it really is a
it's
great
not
feel-good
today
song.
when you're listening to
Yeah.
it. It's today when we're recording it.
Yeah, so the song came out on January 26th. Check it out everywhere you stream music. It's a good song, and it's called River City Runaway, right? Yeah, River City Runaway. Great track. Check it out. Gosh, I mean, who else should I mention? There's so many. I'll tell you, album I'm looking forward to, and we don't want to get too far off here, but I know it's going to make me happy, is whenever the Heavy Hitters put out something.
For sure. I mean,
they've got some Christmas
so
music
good.
out, but they're actually going to be putting out some originals hopefully soon. Gosh, there are so many that I could shout out. I feel like I'm at the Grammy Awards right now trying to remember everybody off the top of my head, and they're getting ready to roll the music on me.
Yeah, the pressure is definitely not that high, just so you know.
Yeah, so
you can dial that back.
We'll dial that back.
I'm going to just throw it out there because I think it's a super fun song, Celebrity by Brad Paisley.
Oh, yeah.
The music video is hysterical. It has Jason Alexander in it. It's a good time.
I love his...
It's just fun. It's one of his fun songs.
I love the track. And I'm going to draw a blank on the name of the track, but he just released it as part of that Son of the Mountain. Oh, Son of the Mountains.
Yeah, Son of the Mountains.
Son of the Mountains. That's the track,
a good
right?
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Brad is really great at doing really light, fun songs, but also really deep, meaningful,
he can do it.
sentimental.
He can write a song. Wasn't it Check Me for Ticks? Is
yeah,
that him?
Is that him?
I think so. Check You for Ticks, whatever. And, it's a real, tongue-in-cheek, obviously songs about, physical intimacy. But then he can also write this song about the opioid crisis in the state of West Virginia.
Yeah.
And so that's a really interesting thing to be able to pull off as an artist, that dichotomy. So, yeah, I mean, gosh, we could be here all day if I gave out all the
this
shout-outs.
song is not recorded yet, but if you're in the Harrison County area, Lauren Starkey's song, I don't actually know what it's called. Maybe it's called We Got the Sunshine. I Got the Sunshine.
I think something like that, yeah.
I'm not going to sing it right now, but it's such a great song. I just can't. I told her at a show once, please make that the first song you record because I love it so much and I can't wait to listen to it again and again and again.
Yeah. So I think that should be about it. And, we'll
short and sweet, this one.
Yeah, we'll have to come up with some other ways to give all these shout-outs out to some artists.
Yeah, we'll do a sad songs list.
Yeah, because, guys, honestly, we'll say it, and you'll hear us say it almost every podcast. There's amazing music being made in the state of West Virginia that is born and bred here, and that's why we're here, is to let you know what's out there for you to check out. And we are just barely even touching the tip of the iceberg in this episode. So, wherever you're streaming this, if you happen to find us on our social media platforms and you want to comment below the social media posts of your songs are that make you feel good, go ahead and do that. And we will be back sometime here soon and be talking about some other great things happening here in the state of West Virginia in regards to music. And thank you so much, and we will see you on the next one.